Hi everyone, it's Sam, and I am very excited to say that I'm about to go on my first ever ceramics journey, and we're headed to New York. I was really hoping to do a vlog style video, so I'm hoping I can take you along with me for the journey. Today is Tuesday, I leave on Thursday, and so far I have my clothes packed. I have a lot of my ceramics supplies packed, and I just need to put together the last of like my stuff in the morning when I leave. I'm going to do this ceramics workshop called Poetic Utility, which is taking functional pieces and combining them with the artistic creative side, so you're going beyond just a standard piece and really starting to lean into more of that free-flowing expression and creativeness that comes with ceramics as well. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a 3-day workshop. It's not in the big city, and quite honestly, I'm thankful for that because I'm going solo, and I think I would be really nervous in the city all by myself. I've never been, and go to LA, but that seems different somehow, especially being from a medium-sized town and spending most of my life here. So it just seems like a really intimidating place, but I'm super excited. I'm staying on the facility where the workshop is in this little like bed and breakfast type thing, and it's full days of just ceramics. And so I'm gonna spend the days doing that. Say hi, Chroma. I also just picked up a new book by Mr. Gadsby himself. Opal really wants her treat right now. So I picked this up to read on the plane. I feel like it'll get me very inspired, at least I'm hoping. And I read a couple of pages already, and it's definitely in his voice, the same as the videos are. So I'm excited to see what his journey started out like. I'm headed to New York today. We just got in the car, I packed my bags, and now we're headed to the airport. It's gonna be a somewhat long day. I'm leaving from Fresno, and then I'm going to Texas, and then to Albany. So let's see how this journey goes. The Fresno airport was totally fine. I met this little puppy. He was adorable. So I thought we were off to a great start. Then we got to Dallas. I got some food. I walked to my gate, and I had about a 3-hour layover. Then they changed my gate 4 times. Then we started getting more delays, and we're now leaving an hour later. So it was a lot of waiting, but it's fine. And then it got worse. I boarded the plane about an hour later and was on the plane for about an hour for some minor delays. And then they decided they were going to deplane us. Now, my flight was leaving at 10 p.m. In reality, it left at 10:45. I finally got to the airport in Albany at 2:30. I picked up my bags, and the rental car place was already closed. All the hotels were booked or either $500 for 3 hours. I said, fuck it, we're staying in the airport. So at 6 a.m., I finally got a car and was on my way. At this point, I was running on airplane sleep, coffee, fumes, and a whole lot of spite. So we're finally on the road. Oh my god, this is just beautiful. It's so green. The weather is just perfect, and I'm so excited. Here is my room for the trip. Pretty standard, and each room has its own bathroom, which I'm super thankful for. Typical bed and breakfast style. And then this is my walk every morning to the ceramics studio. It's such a cool little community, and it was so nice. Here is the actual studio I will be doing work in for the week. Across the street is a speaker space, which we'll go into more later. And then look at how cute this building is, and you can see it says Ceramics Art Studio. So now let's get into the actual workshop. This is from day one. My instructor was Aisha Peltz, who went to Alfred University for her BFA and her MFA. So I was so excited to get to talk to someone from there and learn her experience. And her focus was a lot of taking functional pieces and then adding this natural, organic feeling to them and trying to capture a moment of time forever in these ceramic pieces. And I just thought it was so beautiful, and she showed us so many different techniques in just these 3 days, and we also got to try a lot of them ourselves. So it was super interesting, and I'm so happy with the way that she taught everyone, and she was very hands-on. This is where we got to eat lunch outside every day. It was this little picnic area just outside the studio. I even saw a couple deer. And then back into the workshop. This was also day 1. She was showing us how she trims and how she adds feet onto them in more of a hand building technique instead of just the traditional throwing a foot. She wants it to be a part of her piece. And then she also showed us how she does unique rims, and this was one of my favorite pieces. She considers this a bud vase and can throw little flowers in them. And then here is that speaker space. We got to see not only Aisha give a little lecture on her work, but we also saw Deborah Simon, who is a 3D embroidery artist, and her work was so beautiful.
Contradictory feelings about them. You know, they're anything from what's adorable, you know, Peter Pan.
Nice to hear you articulate how, or even just mention how planning out is interesting.
So this weekend was actually my first time ever throwing with porcelain. I've been sticking with those B mixes, those cone 6s, and have never really ventured into porcelain because I know how scary it is when people talk about it, and I don't think that my studio fires to cone 10 very often. But here I am making a plate to then change the form on later. And so right now I'm just kind of working on that base, and then here's a little snip of Aisha coming to help me.
Yeah.
Okay, is that like just that kind of
better.
curve?
Yep, I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
Oh, can I come on you?
Yes, please do.
So I'm gonna come right here and just check that a little bit.
If I see it afterwards, I'll be like, oh, okay, that's what I
You
did.
see how I'm kind of erasing that line that was
Oh,
starting?
so you're having it in
I'm
there
actually trying to get past that little bump that was there. And
Okay.
now you can come in here and you're going to start to squeeze and pull that up. But this corner,
Stay with that
stay with that
angle.
curve.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and then
we
just
got
do
it.
normal, okay.
Yep, and then you can just start to squeeze up. Okay, so you look good. This, good. And now,
Yes.
as you're lifting, start to open that
Okay,
up.
but
Compress
use the
your
rib.
limb. Yep, yep.
Should I
Good.
use the rib again to kind of get that
You can
angle,
smooth it a
or
little
should
bit
I
at the-
wait,
You can, I think.
just keep pulling?
I think keep pulling and
Okay.
start to open it
Okay.
and then go back to your rib.
Okay.
Nice, that's beautiful. Good.
And then I need to flatten it.
So
Right.
that's looking good, and then I would come with your rib now and pay attention
Okay,
to that
perfect.
curve.
I'm like, it's starting to look more plate-like.
Yeah, yeah.
Still
So
bowl-esque.
everybody that's got a bowl has got a narrow foot. So yours is a little narrow, yours is a little narrow, yours is less narrow.
We
more
want it
plate,
wide.
right? So I'm pointing it out, not to
No,
be
that's
critical, but
helpful.
to say that's why you've got what you've got, and yours is able to go a little lower because you have more structure
still want the
under that.
stability
Yeah.
down there.
So just take note as you look around the room.
Is this enough of a foot?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's good.
Gotcha.
You can start to push
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That does look lovely.
Oh, thank you. Happy.
It's nice.
So guys, the farm is open.
Okay. What about come home with us too?
Yes.
Sounds like fun. You're all in the city, so you might find me at your home.
Can you adopt all of us? So after our little trip to this farmer's market, it was time for lunch again. Each day we had different array of sandwiches delivered from a local store. And I couldn't get over this view. It was so beautiful. And then here's the back of the studio. They had some amazing glazes and a beautiful glaze wall. And then after lunch, I wanted to get some pictures and videos of Aisha's finished work. They're just so unique and so beautiful. And she was going over how to make different versions of all of these and how we can connect them into our own pieces. Here's some of my finished pieces. This one ended up actually really liking it. It kind of looked like a bag, and it was almost getting these natural silk folds. Here's one of the plates I finished. Since I was traveling from so far away, I didn't actually keep any of my pieces, but you better believe I took home that bag of clay. So we've just finished day 2 of our workshop, and oh my god, I'm learning so much stuff. We've gone through vases, we've gone through plates, we just did these really cool platters, and then tomorrow we're gonna go more into jars and some glazing and just recapping anything. And I really like her work. It's super interesting how she's taking the clay and making something functional, but also making something so artistic and so beautiful. And she's talking about how she's creating these and why and where she's drawn this inspiration from. And it's just so much more in depth than literally anything you can find online. As someone who is mostly self-taught, or if you're looking to get into this more, it's been such a great experience, and I'm so happy that I found this. The people that are in this workshop, there's 7 of us total, and then the instructor, and we're all from various levels of experience. Some of us have been doing it for our entire lives, some of us are rather new, some ladies who are now retired and now doing this full-time, and just a mixed bunch. And it's so interesting to learn their history and why they've taken up ceramics and how we all come from such different areas, but we're all so similar and so focused on something so unique in the process and how we came into it. And I'm having some weird revelations and like understandings as I'm coming through this more, and I have so much that I'm gonna take home from this, and I can't wait to share those ideas. And now I really feel like, oh, I can take, now this is how I can incorporate this and take my pots to the next level, which is what I've really been missing and lacking in my current pieces, but not knowing even how to start on that. And so I'm really excited to take pieces of what she's taught me and incorporate those into my work, and then continue working with the people in my town and expand on their knowledge and expand on this knowledge and start getting more into books, I think, rather than just what's available online, and keep going. And so we'll see what tomorrow has to bring. I'm super excited, and I'll touch back in later. So for day 3, we went over some jars and just more about how to do closed form lids and the kind of shapes you're looking for and how to match it to your jars. I'm going to be honest, I was exhausted at this point. The no sleep finally caught up to me, and we only had so much time before we had to clean up and stuff. So I spent a lot of time watching and recording, but I honestly don't know how much I retained from this because I was almost falling asleep at the wheel. At this point, I knew I was going to have a long day home, and so I just kind of took in what I could. And then we also saw some more of Deborah's work. She hand-broidered these butterflies, which are just insane. So I didn't do as much exploring into the towns as I thought I would. We went and got dinner every night, but honestly, I was exhausted at the end of the day. So here I am walking around the little town of Windham. I got some Italian food from this little place, which was super cute. I just ate outside, and then I explored the rest of the little area that I was in. I actually saw a bear this night, which was pretty cool. Thank God my trip through the airport was fairly uneventful, and I made it home without any issues. This was a great experience, and I'm so happy that I did it.